Hey guys, how's it going? Daniel here, the D, and the Scottish Beast Tom.
Hello.
Hey guys, TD's. So today we're just going to jump into a new video and we're going to be opening it up to the public. You guys, we're going to be discussing the latest patch notes that have just been revealed by Blizzard. I'll be providing you guys with lots of links so you can check out all the stuff that I'm going to be talking about in this video, and hopefully you guys can make some comments and hopefully our voices can be heard. Now this is a good or a bad thing depending on what way you're going to look at it. So first of all, I would like to direct you to look at this first page here that I'm going to pull up. Basically, this page is a new way to play. This is the forum post that Blizzard themselves have unveiled to the public, and it features the other link within this link which shows you a new way to play, and it tells you all the different patch notes, okay? So let us begin by revealing the news itself. You can all find these links in the description, as I said. Please feel free to leave a comment, as I said. So the latest changes incoming to Blizzard have raised concerns among players, and a large amount of feedback on the issue is actually available right now at this link below. Right, but we'll talk about a new way to play, right? So if you guys can just see this with me right now. Basically, this is going to talk about a lot of different changes, and the changes that are coming in specific are new standard mode, okay? So what is standard mode, okay? Standard mode is basically how Hearthstone should be played according to Ben Brode. Standard mode is tournament play, it's competitive, and it's what is going to be acknowledged by Blizzard for BlizzCon points and competing at a very high level. What we have right now is ranked mode and casual. Now we still have casual, that's going to be affected as well, but ranked mode, as we know it right now, with all the cards we love and hate, such as Mysterious Challenger, Piloted Shredder, and all that good stuff. Haunted Creeper. These cards are actually rotating out, and they will be now in a new unsupported tournament competitive mode called Wild. So anyways, I'm going to now redirect you guys to the forum page, because I'm not going to spend too much time discussing what standard and wild is. I don't want to really spend too long going into the patch notes. If you guys want, you can go check that out. Okay, so the third link that I've provided you guys with is basically the forum link. You guys can check out the latest comments that all of us players are making. You can see that I'm going to look at the page right now just as of the 5th of February, and already I can see as a player who plays Magic the Gathering Eternal formats, this is something Blizzard isn't introducing. I can see, did matchmaking ever find true balance? So this must be someone who's concerned that the balance is actually a wee bit off right now, and maybe this is actually a good thing towards actually fixing that, which I believe it is. And then here's someone else. Unless a new player or pro, why would you play standard? So basically, there you go. That means all the old players like us are going to be playing wild, because nobody wants to be rewarded with BlizzCon points and go far with their decks. I have rarely seen the Hearthstone community this united. That's another forum post. So basically, we're all sort of on the same page here. Most of us feel this is basically a bad thing, and we want Blizzard to know that. And then here we go. Blizzard Activision deliberately waited till after holidays to scam us. That's another post. Another post would be, what would make you happy? Let's talk compensation. That's another post. Now, I'm not actually joking, guys. I've just read the top 6 posts that are on the top of the forums as of right now, and that's what they say. So basically, I'm going to talk about, right, this is the main part, guys, right? I'm going to talk about what the issue is here, okay? Here's what the main concerns are. Some of the people are concerned that they've wasted money on old adventures or expansions. One case would be an argument that only just a week ago, a new player who just managed to save up enough dust to craft his first legendary decided to make the obvious choice of the very competitive Dr. Boom. Just 1 week later, he found out that this card will now be banned from competitive play. So naturally, people who expect, when a card changes, they expect a total refund of the crafting cost when a sudden change happens. But we're going to digest all that later, guys, okay? Another point would be, cards and adventures are going to be removed from the shop. Now, to me, this seems like an unusual thing to do, and has raised a whole sort of fertility of complaints and ramifications that impact the new wild mode. We're going to discuss this later as well on my personal take on things. And then last of all, the last feature that they implemented is the 9 additional new deck slots. Yep, that's right, they finally, you suppose you could say this is like the silver lining. They've actually introduced new deck slots, which people have been crying out for ages. But already, this positive might not be so positive you think. It might just balance out perfectly, because people have raised the concern that if it's true, if the rumours are true, wild mode is actually a viable method of play, then really what we're going to see is players who play competitively and then go to wild mode to test out their, I don't know, paladin decks with muster for battle and everything else. So yeah, guys, basically that means you're going to have 9 deck slots now for wild and 9 deck slots for standard, which is pretty much the way we've got it already. So I think it might balance out, but I think it might also be a bit better. Anyway, let's go on to the next link, and we're actually going to have some real evidence here. We're going to look at Ben Broad, okay? And what cards that are going to be removed from Hearthstone and Standard, okay? So if you click this link, guys, just this one here, you can go through it in your own time. We're not going to talk about the full thing today. Basically, it's just a list of cards that are going to get removed from the game, and some of these cards are really essential. Some people really need some of these cards just to combat the cancer aggro, and basically these cards include Sludge Belcher, Piloted Shredder, Death Spite. Now, I don't know if you guys ever felt like Warrior was extremely cancerous and you've been dying to get rid of Warrior, but if you felt like that, then, you know, congratulations, Warriors are now going to be even worse, because they've lost Death Bite, which is used in every Warrior deck, and they've lost Sludge Belcher, which combated cancerous decks like aggro. Unless you're the aggro player here, you know, you're going to be pretty pissed off about this. So you guys can look through that in your own time. You can see all the cards that are going to be removed when the next patch comes. But I'm going to jump straight forward, and we're going to talk about Ben Broad. We're going to talk about how he feels about the new expansion coming. Obviously, being the lead designer of Hearthstone, he's quite excited, and you know, he's obviously the one that's pushed this mode quite heavily. PC Gamer, on the other hand, have asked him a couple of good questions. They didn't ask him all the right questions, but they did ask him some good questions, so you guys can check that link out and read through the full thing. But basically, as an example, this is something that Ben Broad said, quote, "Mostly we've been kind of trying to look towards the future of Hearthstone and make sure that we are set up to be fun and exciting for many years. We don't want Hearthstone to be a game that's just around for a year. Even though it's already been around for 2 years. Sorry, back to the quote. We want to be around for lots of years, and when we think about the cadence of releases and how to keep the game fresh and exciting, it's not too hard to see where Hearthstone is headed. If we don't make any changes, the problems are going to get less and less versatile and dynamic as new releases, because there are more cards to compete against. And it's hard for new players to get into. Given those two problems, we felt like we had to do something." Okay. Right, so that's just basically him saying why this new mode's coming about, because he feels like Hearthstone's basically going to become shit. Basically, decks are hyper refined right now. If you talk about something like Piloted Shredder, for example, and you think, you know what, I'm going to try a different 4-drop in my deck. Okay, what possible 4-drop is going to give you as much value as Piloted Shredder? Nothing. And the only way they can give you something better is to do something that people hate as well, called power creep. And basically that's a bad thing as well, because we don't want to see more overpowered cards. We just want to see different cards that are fun. So basically that's all it is to do with that. And congratulations, Thomas, on pulling your legendary Deathwing. Yay! Okay, now I'm not going to go through any more of these links. I'm now going to jump straight into my personal opinion. This is where we're actually going to hopefully make our voices heard, because really I'm going to relate it back to Ben Brode's exact words. I'm going to give you guys quotes and links which Blizzard have actually provided. So all this stuff is scientific. It's all analysis of data and observations that are made backed by very good facts. So basically, here's another thing Ben Brode said, okay? This is actually a quote, okay? He said, "New players will not be attracted to Wild." Okay, now that's bad. That makes Wild seem shit, okay? And I'm going to explain why. Due to the fact there are many insane paywalls and massive amounts of dust that it will cost to craft all the adventures worth of cards, plus the fact that the game will be balanced for the new up-and-coming standard mode, meaning that any changes in new cards will affect Wild in an adverse power creep / unbalanced game. With a few OP decks, maybe the worst case scenario, really only one truly OP deck. But that is some time away. Back to the point, Wild mode will not be, let's put this in brackets, as high of a priority to balance. That is Ben Brode's words. It won't be a higher priority to balance as standard. Okay? So for everyone who's got these great golden Lothebs and other crafted cards that are still allowed in Wild mode, it will not be a higher priority as standard, and new players will not be attracted to Wild mode. So far, that's what we've established. We're going to get into more right now. But hey, it's Wild, you know, so you can expect to see Wild things like a super refined, you know, OP, mysterious challenger deck with perfect curve, zombie chow into Minibot, into Muster, into Shredder, into Sludge Belcher, into Dr. 6, Dr. 7, and Tyrion Fordring, and then, I don't know, other crazy stuff. But by that time you've lost. So that's basically how Wild mode will be reduced to into a couple of years. So let's break down all this new info and digest it, and tell you what I really think. Can I start by saying that I'm not funded or sponsored by anyone. Everything that I know is from my own independent research. Unlike some who just rush in and spit out hatred or ill thought arguments or demand a refund, I like to gather evidence and data in order to arrive at a statistically accurate and logical outcome. I feel confident and have reason to believe, based on scientific findings, my research and my opinion is true. Because I've showed you guys all the links. Everything I talk about today is based on the information I've learned for these links. So really, I'm not just guessing. Everything I talk about is fact. Like, some people could be angry and say something that isn't true. Like, if someone could go like that, I know for a fact no one's going to play Wild mode. You know, that would just be anger, and it's not true, because there will always be someone to play Wild mode. But what the evidence is pointing towards is Wild mode's going to become less and less popular, and Blizzard are actually actively designing Wild mode right now to become that way. So, the first thing is the new split into Standard and Wild mode. Can I just say that yes, this is most definitely a good thing. That's right, guys, I actually think this is a good thing, because the game is very refined right now. Paladins and Face Shamans and all these very powerful decks with very strong card value are running rampant on the ladder right now. So I believe if we rotated some of those powerful cards out, it would make people choose, you know, different options. Maybe Yeti would come back. This is what Ben Brode said as well. So I actually do see it as a good thing. What I don't agree with, though, is the way they're executing it. So from what I've read as well, people are generally more excited about the new meta that will feature a lot of new cards as opposed to a new expansion like TGT, for example, yeah? Where they only gave us one or two cards that were actually capable of fitting into the super refined, powerful decks of these days. So take, for example, the Grand Tournament. Out of all the cards, only a few legendaries actually made it into the decks, and they weren't even that great. The first one that made it in would be maybe Justicar. She was seen in a few decks. Chilmaw, Sarad, Gormok, Aviana. But really, these few good cards from the set had to have a full deck built around them. And even then, they were really not a great deal better than any, you know, sadly, nice cards that appeared at a great time, like Varian Rin, or Ronin, because these cards actually came out and they were just too slow to run in the meta. Ronin was great and he actually featured in some decks, but generally he lost before he got a chance to get the beast and effect off. And they were just a bit slow and clunky for the super refined meta. So all in all, the meta where all the auto-include staples like Shredder and Creeper are gone may actually allow a more competitive and refreshing gameplay. We will see. What I will mention though is, as just as important as the execution of this mod has been very poor and sudden, it has sparked hatred and upset within the vast majority of the Hearthstone community. In order to fully appreciate how this has been executed, we need to know how Hearthstone worked in the past in terms of introducing changes and how a new change deviates from the course of action Blizzard generally take. Okay? Blizzard is an online card game, and as an online card game have the advantage of not needing the certain limitations of a trading card game. Okay? One limitation of a trading card game is that when cards have been printed and their respective texts cannot be changed, okay, whereas Blizzard doesn't have this same barrier. Blizzard can actually change a card and all the cards will be changed. So this is something that Blizzard doesn't have to worry about, because they can simply nerf buff a card at any time, and all the cards that have currently been released with the old text will automatically update to the new effect. In a trading card game, however, those cards need to be banned, limited or rotated out of the set in order to have a healthy meta. Blizzard, who are partnered with the money-obsessed, player-disregarding company Activision, have decided to also implement these rotations, because but a full set rotation can cost the consumer a lot of money. Okay, that's us. And in a TGC, the old cards you have are still yours, and you can sell them and get reimbursed for their value. In Hearthstone, however, the old cards are actually useless because they're personal to you only. I would say wild only cards are no longer useful for tournament play and are unredeemable for their value. You can, however, dust them for the, the 1:8 dust ratio or whatever it is that you get. So typically when a change is implemented by Blizzard, they offer, since the beginning of Hearthstone, they've offered a grace period where the card or cards affected may be redeemed for their full crafting value. This is really a circumstance where this opinion needs to be considered, because here's another example that is on the Battle.net forums, okay? This is actually someone that that supports Blizzard, right? Okay, here's a quote from somebody who supports Blizzard on the forums. What Blizzard is doing right now is completely dirty business. That's like me buying a nice Mercedes car and then a year later being told I can no longer drive that on the road. But hey, I can still drive it around in my backyard with my friends. Okay? So that is essentially what you can do, right? You're allowed to keep your awesome golden Dr. Boom that you've just crafted, but you can only use it in wild mode. Or certain tavern brawls, Don't expect to go to BlizzCon with it. So, here's an argument that someone, like I said, someone who supports Blizzard is saying, okay? Someone who actually backs Blizzard up. And we're going to talk about their argument, and we'll see if it's logical. People can simply exploit Blizzard. If they gave full refunds for old Nax or GVG cards, they could simply buy packs or adventures and then disenchant all the cards, getting enough dust that they can craft all the cards from the new set, and Blizzard wouldn't make any money. Okay, now that is an argument that some people are using right now. Can I just say that statement is severely dumb, to use a nice word. Only a really small mind would look at that and think that there is some sort of exploit here. Here's an example, okay? Let's say Blizzard decided all the GVG cards can be disenchanted for their full value. Automatically, people are thinking, oh, Blizz isn't going to make any money next expansion. Well, that's wrong, okay? Maybe the people that bought enough packs to complete their GVG collection would have enough dust, but the exploit, okay, emphasis on the exploit, of buying packs, then disenchanting them for loads of dust won't make Blizzard very much money. Yeah, well, let's just say this, you still have to buy the packs, okay? Therefore, if you bought 5 GVG packs, let's say you got 5 rares and 20 commons, that's the worst you can do. Typically, if you disenchanted all them, that would be 200 dust, okay? With the exploit, there's that emphasis again, you would get a whopping 1300 dust, okay? But guess what? people that exploited 1300 dust, you choose bought and earned Blizzard $10 in packs. So really they're not going to crash and burn because they do the right thing and be fair and allow people a grace period to refund the crafted cards that they bought. And another thing is, Blizzard could simply stop selling the GVG packs in the shop now, and then in a couple of weeks' time they could implement the grace period and they could let us know. So there you go, straight away that can be thrown out the window. But here's another user who backs up Blizzard and has presented another excellent argument on Blizzard's side. This is what he said, quote, "The older cards can still be used in wild mode." Okay, now we've talked about how shit wild mode is already. Could really use a drink of water. But the meta is somewhat diverse at the moment, okay? The meta is somewhat diverse at the moment. Before these changes and the standard mode is what we really needed to happen in order to hopefully preserve the game. A lot of different decks and a lot of different classes, that is a sign of a healthy meta. Especially when there's various archetypes that are viable within each class. There will always statistically be a deck that's on top of the meta, guys. But as long as it's not head and shoulders above everything else, we should accept that this is actually a balanced meta, if that was to happen. So another issue is the idea of removing the adventures and the old packs from the shop, okay? Now this is a weird one for me, guys, because if you remove content from the shop, that actually might potentially earn you less money. But let's try and think of Blizzard's logic behind this. Let's see how on earth this could make them more money by actually removing this stuff from the shop, okay? So one thing they could do is a Halloween special, Baron Riverdale and the Three Horsemen of the Apocalypse, only $1.99, and the same arena run, you can win and earn Baron Riverdale for your epic wild collection and experience the old out of print Nax boss. Right, so that's something they could do at Halloween to make money off it if it wasn't in the shop. And here's the other thing they could do, right? We have released limited reprints, 3 GVG packs for $5. Save dust, save time, and complete your wild collection. Okay, so basically what they could do is bring back old packs, old content, for those who are trying to craft. Because guys, if they remove all these packs from the shop and all the adventures, people who want to get those cards can still craft them, but it would literally cost tens of thousands of dust to craft a single adventure. So if they re-release that content, they could make a lot of money off it. But I'm sure they already know that, so let's just move on. For the most part, I can't say any of that's true though, right? That was all speculation, those last two comments. So, all we really know is what Ben Brode said in his PC Gamer interview, and here's exactly what he said, quote, "We don't want too many things in the shop, and too much old content that will confuse new players. We want to focus new players on standard mode of playing." Okay? So yeah, that's the reason it's getting taken down, because they want the latest sets and the newest content to be available to new players, because that's the stuff that's not banned and you can use it in competitive mode. Once again, highlighting the fact that wild mode is going to receive no attention. Okay? But I will just jump in here and say, if you look at some of the articles I've provided you with, Blizzard did say they'll keep an eye on wild mode. So, thank goodness for that, eh? We can all rest easy and sleep at night. Anyways, so the great thing is going into standard mode is more desired, and over time reduce the amount of players that will want to get into the wild mode. Okay? That's a fact. What it will do is also two things. One, take the challenge of fighting old PvE bosses and building fun specific decks and kill them. Okay, because people won't be able to face people like Baron Riverdale. They won't get to build fun specific decks to encounter that challenge. Nobody will know what that is, and they'll have to look up old YouTube videos to find out that stuff. And two, remove the old expansion cards from being earned the adventure way and make it obscenely expensive to craft all those adventures with dust. So all this just makes wild mode and its OP staples such as Shredder and Creeper less desirable and very expensive to obtain for new players in the future. So my final argument is this: Blizzard should go ahead with the changes and make standard mode and wild mode. I do agree with that, okay? But Blizzard should not refuse players with old cards one opportunity this time to disenchant them for the full value. In the future, if you invest in sets that are going to eventually become rotated out, you should expect to lose money, okay? But right now, we shouldn't expect to lose money because we never knew that any of these cards we were crafting would ever become out of the competitive scene. We never knew at this point, so generally we deserve a refund, okay? Time and time again, we have seen reasons to believe wild mode will die. Not just that Ben Brode has said it in his interview with PC Gamer, but also the fact that it's not going to be a supported mode for competitive play. It will not award any BlizzCon points, and Blizzard has said it does not recognise it as a mode in BlizzCon or of competitive play. Okay? All the streamers will play standard mode. Thus, the vast majority of people who like the game and watch the game on Twitch will follow suit. New players will find the paywall and extortionate cost of crafting wild staples like Shredder and Loatheb too much, especially when you weigh up with all the other downsides, such as going up against OP decks. So therefore they won't play wild mode. And Blizzard will be paying less attention to balancing this mode, so therefore it will become very overpowered with spikes and a few decks that make them blatantly more powerful than all the others. So with all that information about wild, let me tell you this. Blizzard never rewarded golden versions of adventure cards for killing heroic bosses. Why? Why didn't they reward golden versions of cards for killing the heroic versions? Here's what they said, okay? Because they said they wanted to keep golden cards special, and that if a player wanted to play golden Loatheb, he could craft one and enjoy it in his collection and include it in his decks forever. Okay? So some of the players went and crafted golden cards, like Loatheb or Kel'Thuzad, to show them off, and choose to make fun decks to show them off against other players competitively. As we previously mentioned, Blizzard's protocols in regards to a change of functionality of a card is to offer a reimbursement of the crafting cost of that card. In full. So you get the full 3200 dust back if you crafted a golden Loatheb, because you wanted to play it in your decks and go to BlizzCon with it, and now you can't play it in your decks or show off. Okay? So, here's an argument that takes Blizzard's side, and this is actually one of the best ones I've seen, but yet I can still argue with it, okay? Here's someone that is on Blizzard's side, and they support Blizzard. Well, if Blizzard actually changed the functionality of the old rotated out cards, then I would see your point, but the actual card text and stats has not changed. Okay, first of all, can I just say this is disgustingly ignorant and a very quick decision to arrive at, due to the fact that basically, here's a quote from Blizzard, okay? This is an actual quote I'm going to bring up, okay? Now here's the quote from Blizzard. And this is an older patch, right? This is when they done the Tankmaster and Nat Pagel nerfs. So it was on March 25th, and it said, this is Blizzard quote, "We've made some changes to certain expert cards recently, and the amount of dust you will get from disenchanting them is temporarily increased to equal the amount of dust originally needed to craft them. The following cards will be dusted for their full value for 2 weeks until March 25th, 2014. If you're planning on taking advantage of the increased disenchant value of these cards, please do so before March 25th. Okay? Now, why did Blizzard do that? Why did Blizzard give a full disenchant value for Nat Pagel and Tankmaster Overspark? I wonder why they did that, okay? Because they could have made so much more money if they never. Here is what you can do. Right? Check out the link, guys, as well, so you can see that I'm not talking out my arse. I'm genuinely concerned here, okay? The quote by Blizzard regarded Tankmaster and Nat Pagel, as they've always done. This course of action said they've made changes recently, and the amount of dust you'll get is temporarily going to be increased, okay? So basically, what this means is, if you crafted a Nat Pagel, okay, so that you could use him in his powerful form in, let's say, a priest deck, okay, to get high legend, and maybe, hopefully, Nat Pagel can take you to BlizzCon, okay, then that was noticed by Blizzard. Blizzard noticed that that's why you crafted Nat Pagel. And when they changed the card, he became less powerful. Therefore, Blizzard realised that many people may not want to use the card anymore. Maybe he's underpowered now. Maybe he's not going to, take people to BlizzCon. And therefore, that's why they offered the grace period, okay? Now, all the fanboys out there, that all these cards have not actually changed and their text remain the same. But what happened this time is actually worse than a simple card change, okay? Let's use the same example again, okay? Let's say this time the customer, instead of the pre-nerfed Nat Pagel, decided on this occasion that he wanted to craft a very powerful card to help him be competitive and go to BlizzCon, okay? In this more recent example, let's say player X crafts Dr. Boom, okay? Now once again, let's say it's the same guy that crafted Nat Pagel, okay? Last time, now this guy crafted a powerful card to help his deck become strong enough to compete at a very high level of play. And if that card were to get nerfed, it would make it less desirable, because it would be as strong as essential high level play like Nat Pagel. If a change happened, he could have got his investment back in something else, okay? Basically what I'm saying there, guys, is the guy crafted Nat Pagel because he was strong enough to take him to BlizzCon, okay? When Nat Pagel got nerfed, he might not be strong enough to go to BlizzCon anymore. Nat Pagel in the deck. He might want to use something else like Frostbolt or whatever. Okay, so Blizzard knew that, offered a refund because the card was less powerful. Okay, keep this word in your head. Nat Pagel was nerfed, therefore he was less useful for going to BlizzCon, okay, because he wasn't as powerful. Now, listen to this, guys. Not only is Dr. Boom, this new Dr. Boom, let's say a new player got his first legendary, it was Dr. Boom, he has the dreams of becoming the next BlizzCon champion, okay? Not only is the card nerfed, or worse, not only is the card as useful, but he's completely useless now. There is no use for him because he'll be rotated out, okay? And that aspiring BlizzCon champ is completely useless. It's not less useful, it's completely useless because it's now banned and rotated out of the set. So on one hand you had the issue where a card became less useful, and as always Blizzard done the respectful thing and entitled players with the option to dust the card for a full reimbursement of the crafting cost. But on the other hand, this is the situation we face now, guys. The card is not used at all. The card may not be used at all, okay? The aspiring BlizzCon champion can no longer use the card, and for the first time ever, Blizzard has not done the respectful thing and entitled players to have a full reimbursement of the value cost. So naturally, the general public are disgusted by this shoddy, dirty business, and many have theorised that this is some sort of way to increase profit margins. This, however, we will never know, okay? This is things people complain about that I'm not going to complain about. I don't know if Blizzard are trying to increase their profit margins. There's no facts out there that say that. But what we do have is a compiling bunch of evidence to show that Blizzard are changing the way they normally do things. And this is why we're upset. Okay? Blizzard has been very dishonest on this occasion. And this has been backed up by hard facts. So last of all, I'm just going to talk about what we can do about it, okay? At this stage, we are pretty much basically just a fart in the wind, guys. We actually have no power to physically change things ourselves, but our presence can be directed toward Blizzard, and they may or may not initiate some sort of change, okay? Blizzard is a large company that's been around for many years, guys, and believe me, they've been called everything, and they've been threatened everything under the sun. No words or threats will get us anywhere, okay? So even though we're very upset right now, we're not going to get anywhere by threatening Blizzard, okay? Or, you know, just moaning at them. Blizzard is a company that wants to make money, though. Okay, and to make money you need to have players paying for your content. This is more apparent than it has ever been in Hearthstone, which is apparently a free to play game. So what we must do, if we're smart enough, guys, is to talk with our wallets. Simply put, don't spend any more money in the game. The cards are not yours, the account is not yours, and the money that you invested can simply be instantly devalued and taken away from you at any point at the discretion of Blizzard. So for me personally, and from the comments I've read of many other unhappy victims, I will be putting my wallet back in my pocket when it comes to Hearthstone. And yeah, I'll kick around for now, for a while, to see where the game goes, because like I said, I'm quite fond of the new changes, but sadly it's outweighed 10 to 1 by the method at which they're executing this new content. So thanks for watching, guys, and I look forward to hearing your comments below. If you like in-depth video of this, I really appreciate it, because I tried to put in a lot of effort and research to make it. So if you guys learned something or benefited from it, then my mission's been complete. Lastly, I'll just say that I'm still a growing channel. I wouldn't mind taking a few suggestions. If you guys would like me to discuss any other content or changes or anything else, really just drop a comment and you know, and I'll get back to you, and maybe we can talk about something else. Could be good, could be bad, might be something else, could be a card discussion. Just leave me ideas, guys, if there's something you want to see. But for now, you've got plenty of evidence and you've got plenty of time to make your own opinions and decide what you want to do with your money in regards to the future of Hearthstone. So thanks very much for watching, guys, last time, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay beastly. Peace.
Boost.